Alright, you bastards, this is Some-Belgian-prepper, and today we're going to talk about masturbation. No, no, not masturbation. I'm talking about musturbation. And yeah, this was actually in Belgium the word of the year a few years ago, and we're going to talk about that word, which will have an impact on your survival after this. If you're interested in survival courses in Belgium, there will be a link to my website survivaltrainingbelgië.be and also to my book called Bloody Crosses. So if you're interested, take a look, I would say. So, what is this word that I talk about? Masturbation. It's something that I got reminded to a few days ago. I was having a date with a lovely, yeah, to be honest, not that lovely young lady. She was not that young either, but whatever. Uh, yeah, it went nowhere. And while we were talking, uh, she was always rambling about not having not enough time. She was talking about her work. She was talking about all the tasks that she had to do at home, washing, cleaning, all that stuff. She was talking about not having time for hobbies. She was busy with projects next to her work, and yeah, then also about social, what's the English word, like social commitments, like family, friends, that kind of stuff. So this person uh, made indirect clear that she would not have much time for me for dating in the future, and that made me think about the word masturbation. And it is also relevant for preppers and survivalists uh, in this kind of way. The word masturbation is actually means the feeling that you need to do something that is uh, not that necessarily at the moment you're having that feeling. I don't know if you got it, what I said, but it basically means, for example, you know that kind of people who say, "Oh, I cannot go with you to the pub right now because I'm vacuum cleaning the home." Most people would say, "Leave the vacuum cleaner, come with me to the pub, and do it later." But to those kind of people, in their head, they feel like they need to do this task right now, whether it's in a way of a routine, whether it's perhaps they have a light form of OCD, perhaps it's in their habits, perhaps it's something that they need, that they think about to be reflected from other problems in their life. Like, yeah, it's something that people do, and it's something that I see so many people do that I think that it will be a problem for for survival plans, because there are also this can also happen during survival scenarios where people do things that are not necessarily in stressful situations. For example, there was this book about things that soldiers did under high stress situations that did not make any sense. For example, I what was the book called? I think the book was called War Games. A very interesting book, and it told about soldiers who were in the trenches or were under fire, and they had to stay put till the cavalry came or reinforcement. So they had to stand put. And this person who saw this officer who wrote this biography saw soldiers fiddle with their gear on a moment that it was not necessarily. It was like they checked all their magazines, they checked if everything was primed, they did all the things that was not necessarily at the moment. And this was by trained personnel in that were trained for this kind of high stress situations. So even then, these people do this. So imagine a normal civilian that got thrown into a disaster scenario, emergency scenario. People will do weird stuff, and they will not have their priorities right. So it's very important that you need to be able to address it yourself, that acknowledge about yourself that what I'm doing right here is not that really necessarily. I need to focus on this task that is more necessarily at the moment, and put the other task back. And or in another way, it can be like, that's a difficult task. I don't want to do this, but I will do this more easier task that is not necessarily right now, but it will make me feel like I'm doing something. It will make me look to the others in a social way that I'm doing something, and also to myself. But it is not that big of the priority at the moment. If you catch what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that is something that also need to be addressed. Like I said, it's not coming only from yourself to yourself, but also to others. If somebody is doing a task that is not necessarily, be like the sport coach at the football game, and say like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Stop that and focus on the task at hand. And that will bring people back into their list of priorities, and they will feel like they are now being pressed with a more urgent task than they thought it was before. So I hope I make some sense right now, and this should be also be put into your prepping survival plans. For example, I see a lot of people, starting preppers, focus on things that they probably will never happen. Nuclear war, perhaps they are uh, on a war or something, not nuclear but a conventional war, or even a zombie outbreak. These are things that are not on your highest priority, but they put the most focus in. So uh, just use the rule of three to put your focus into the task that you need to do in the emergency situation or the disaster scenario, to put that first. That is 3 minutes without air. This means self defense and first aid, to be able to live longer than a few minutes if you are wounded or in an aggressive situation. Then 3 days, 3 hours without um, how do you say this, with protection against the elements. So if you're cold, get a way to get warm. If it's too warm, find ways to keep cool. So if it rains, find something to protect you against the rain. So yeah, that is what I mean. Uh, the another rule is 3 days without water. So have a way to catch water, to storage water, and to filter and purify water. No brainer. And then we got 3 weeks without food. So if you have a pantry with some foods that will be can be kept for a longer time, and you have food for 3 weeks, that's like 80% of every emergency scenario that you can think of, so to say. Even a zombie apocalypse scenario, if you got the rule of three, you're 80% good, I would say. So this is the priorities, and if you feel like you need to do something else, then those priorities, check yourself. How does it go? Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah, whatever. Um, yeah, my fire is getting down, so I'm gonna get some more wood. All right. So masturbation, something that you need to talk about with your and acknowledge about yourself, and also to other people. So I hope this gave you some food for thought, and let me know in the comments what you think about it, or steps that you would take to for also yourself and towards other people. Perhaps you got better plans or step plan than me. So please let me know in the comments. I'm always eager to learn. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see you next video. Cheers.